Good morning, afternoon, evening, night. It's Saturday, 14th of October, 6 a.m. It is a typical sort of spring day outside. We've had some nice clear skies, which you would have seen. We've had some pretty shady sort of skies, which is why I didn't shoot anything last night. So I actually slept last night. I am well rested, not like our guest today. He is not well rested at all. There is a bit of a delay in the conversation in the interwebs. Is the little hamsters on the wheel down in Geelong are not running that fast, so he might be a little bit delayed in what we're talking. I'll bring Mr. McMillan in first because he's on the other side of the world and we can talk just like we are right now without a delay. How you doing, man?
Yeah. How's it going?
Right.
Yeah, it's a typical autumn day here. It's a typical autumn day here.
Yeah.
Cooler temperatures, clouds, clear sky, whatever. I'm just hoping tonight it's clear.
Because you have the new iPhone, right?
I do.
And you've used it for how many days now?
Well, I got it Tuesday afternoon, and then I had to go to work on night shift for 3 nights. So, I mean, I just finished that this morning, and here I am. So I haven't really had a chance to, play around with it too much, but
not too much. So you've probably only taken like 5,000 photos so far. If you haven't,
about 4,500.
We'll bring on. So I didn't actually advertise that we were bringing someone else on. Just that Mike contacted me yesterday and talked about the promo that's going on. And I thought, well, what a good opportunity. We'll bring him on and he can tell you all about it. Mike James in the house. You can't unmute the mic because you've muted yourself, Mike. You need to unmute yourself.
There we go.
Unless you're just assuming that we all know sign language. This is the delay. Get this. So I live here. I need an object. Let's use this box. This is the Earth. It's not really flat, but this is the Earth, and I live here. Greg lives here, and we can communicate like we're sitting next door to each other. Now I live here, and Mike lives here, but there's a massive delay.
You know why? Because it's not going directly from Mike to you. It's going from Mike all the way around and then to you.
That's it.
You didn't have the wherewithal to put the freaking wires between the two of you.
It was decided by the Australian government. We're here to fuck you around a bit.
Hilarious.
How are you, Mike?
I'm very well. Very, very well. Very good. Always happy to be here. You guys are a lot of fun.
Yep. Well, we try to be fun. Sometimes it's educational, sometimes it's insightful, but usually we're just here for a bit of fun for ourselves.
And I should say that Mike was a guest on my podcast on the last episode. So if you missed it, go check it out. No, sorry, not the last one, the one before.
I was going to say, weren't you just on there, Mike, like a couple of episodes ago? He's getting more podcast time than I am. I'm disappointed, Greg. Morning, Scott Baker. Morning, Digging in the Green Grass. This Digging in the Green Grass is probably the most active person on all of my channels. He comments on everything all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd say I was giving away a phone. Not being skeptical at all. I appreciate the viewership, my friend. So, Mike, you're on here for a reason. Wait, he's moving around. He's rising.
Well, all I got is a chair that can go up and down.
So yesterday I built a desk. I don't know if we spoke about it live last week or we just spoke about it off air with Dale Lotherington. He's got a sit-stand desk, and my desk was actually a dining table. It was a massive, big chunk of the room taken up, and I had, you know how it is when you have something. Say you move into a house and it's a small house, so you've only got a little bit of stuff around your house. Then you move into a bigger house, and what do? You buy more shit to go into your bigger house. You buy a bigger house, you buy even more shit to go into a bigger house. I've done it the opposite way. massive desk, and it was just full of shit. And now I've got this little desk, and all the shit's gone. It's like, but we were talking before about the whole I'm going up and down sort of thing. That's what that was. Sorry, Mike. That was a long way to explain what the hell you were just doing.
Sorry, man.
So you're on. We've got a few things to talk about here today, guys. One is Greg's and my opinion, and everyone else's opinion. Feel free to join the conversation about the iPhone 15. Greg's had his for a little bit. I got the Pixel8 Pro the other day. I've used it for one video. I've taken, besides the Astro photos, I'm going to say 10 photos. That's all. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how here in Australia, we get absolutely screwed by Google when we buy this phone. And also there's a company that I've dealt with. In fact, Greg, I'm not sure if you've dealt with them directly or just through me.
No, I haven't.
And they make really good product. And they've kind of been caught out doing something really dodgy. And I don't quite get the mindset around doing it, but we'll talk about that soon. But first, Mike's got a bit of a promo going, and I want him to explain to you guys what it is. I'll give you the floor, Mike. Let's get rid of Greg. How much nicer is that?
Right.
Yeah, I'll go out too, mate.
All right, I have the floor, full screen. Okay. Firstly, apologize for the internet. I know what it's like as a viewer when you see things lagging. So hopefully you're seeing me in real time now. Like Shane said, I just reached out to him, let him know about this thing called 5-day deal, and I'm sure if you follow any photography educator out there, you are receiving the emails, because that's kind of our job to let you know when these opportunities come up. And 5-day deal is a company over in the US that brings together industry leading photography educators, and they pull all the resources together, and they all donate a course, and then offer a bundle. And there's 3 bundles, and you can upgrade, and you can get, starts from 24 courses and it goes up to 50 courses, and the price ranges from 98 to 166. And I reached out to Shane just to say, hey mate, I'm super excited. I've actually been included. They reached out and asked me to submit a couple of courses, or a course and my ebook version that way, the ebook version of my book, which is really cool, really exciting. And so far it was released yesterday, and they donate 10% to their various charities, and all around providing meals and education. And so far already they've raised $32,000. So it's just amazing. It's extraordinary. They do this once a year for 5 days only. And so you see there, that much that they've raised already. There's already that many people that have purchased this bundle. So I've put together a YouTube video, and inside this video, it's like 50 minutes long. It took me a week and a half to produce it. So inside this video, I go through every single course. Now I know it's a lot to go through, but I have put chapters in there so you can skip ahead. But it's one of those things, it's one of those bundles that you don't need all of them to be relevant for it to be great value for you. You only need 2. And so I put this video together so that you can go through, scroll through, skip ahead and go, oh, that's exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. Or that's the course I've been saving and trying to, holding off until I can get that later on. So this could be your opportunity to get it at a fraction of the price, because the full bundle, 166, there's courses in there, standalone courses. There's one in there by F-Stoppers, Seeing the World, and that one there alone is worth more. And it's very cinematic. It's extraordinary. It's something that I would never be able to create myself. But anyway, so my course in there is a 1-hour smartphone photography workshop where I talk really fast like this, and I smash out a lot of content in there. And it's really exciting that this year they kind of really recognize that mobile photography is part of the photography journey, and it's a legitimate tool and a legitimate genre that we all experiment and play in. So it's really exciting. They've reached out and included us in this. So the courses that are in there, just as relevant for us. My favorite ones, and I'll try presenting the screen. So if it doesn't work, Shane, just kick me off and then boot me out. So I'll go into, where are we? Okay, it's just this one here. This one here is one of my favorites. This one here by Ian is all about composition. And you know how obsessed I am with composition. I think it's the number one thing to produce a really impactful, engaging photo, because you could be in an amazing location and take a really boring photo, or you could be in a really boring location and take an extraordinary photo based on things like this visual flow that Ian talks about. So this course here, I think this one course for all of us mobile photographers, doesn't matter what camera you're using, dedicated, mirrorless or SLR, this course alone is just brilliant. Let's see if I can just switch between these instead of going back and forth. Just wait for the live feed to come through. This is the one from Photographing the World. And then we have, let's go to the sales page. Okay, the sales page is, you can see here on the sales page, and I'll share a link in the comments for the affiliate link. I'm giving away full access to my Snapseed course as well. And I don't think that's come through, has it? Let me just...
No, mate, she's
I really want to share
chugging
this
along like an old steam engine. She's not working
screen
that
share.
well. I think your internet got a bit too slow then, mate. How about give us a verbal on the biggest benefits, I guess, for people right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit is that it's only 5 days, and they cover so much content from beginning Lightroom to advanced Lightroom, beginner Photoshop to advanced Photoshop. There's multiple courses in there for every stage of the journey. The curated list is they put a lot of work into making sure that there's something in there for everybody, because it's out there for everybody. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Maybe whilst we're live today, mate, grab a link and throw it in that comment so people can see where to get it from. And they can go and have a bit of a look-see. Thanks, dude. We'll bring Mr. McMillan back in here. You're back.
I'm back.
What do you want to talk about first? The iPhone? I know you're giddy with excitement. Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's talk about the iPhone.
What's Dave Podner doing these days?
He is down in Palm Springs, California, visiting his father.
Oh, okay. I wonder if he's unavailable in co-hosting this with me.
Okay, I won't play no more.
So you've had the phone for a few days now. And as Scott Baker has so insightfully asked the question, how incredible is it?
Yeah. You know what? They say it's lighter than the 14 Pro Max. I really didn't feel a lot of difference when I held the two of them, and I had no case on either one. And I really didn't
feel... hands, mate. Like swap your hands over. Sometimes things feel different in the other hand.
Well, yeah, I guess I never tried that. But even they're saying that it's just the motion of it makes it feel lighter. You know, that whatever that inertia thing was they talked about, or I've heard people mention. But anyway, I didn't find a lot of difference in that respect. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But as far as as far as the phone itself, build quality and everything else, really cool, really nice. The edges are a little rounder, instead of squared off like the 14 Pro Max, so it's nicer to hold when there's no case on it. But I'm seeing a little faster in everything that it does. Like I know it should be, but it really is. It just does things faster, and I didn't think it would be a noticeable difference between the last year's and this year's, but it seems to be anyway. Now that could be that when I set it up, I didn't transfer all my apps over. I'm only putting them on now as I need them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I have like,
I was going to say, you've got
probably-
200 or something photography apps, don't you?
well, it would seem like it. Maybe not quite that many, but so I mean, I don't have. I'll bet you I'd be lucky if I have 50 or 60 apps on it now, compared to the almost 300 before.
Yep.
But no, it's as far as the phone itself goes, it's really nice. I like it. Now, camera wise, yeah, I think it's definitely an improvement even over last year's. The 5X, it's pretty cool. You know, it's not the 10X that we were all hoping for, obviously, but it's pretty cool. It does a good job, and like I said, I really haven't been able to test it too much, but
there was something that happened on that the moon video that I did. It was probably the most satirical video I've ever done, and it was interesting to see. Normally the Android folks get all bitter and twisted at me when I'm pointing out how good an iPhone is, but none of the iPhone people really had a go at me. Actually, no, they kind of did, more about the Samsung and the AI in the Samsung. But this is one of the good things about having a channel like this, is that you do something the same way you've done it forever and a day, and then in the comments somewhere, someone will give you a little gem of information, and you go, well, it does the same thing, but it didn't. So I've been able to replicate reasonably good moon photos on this phone now consistently by doing it differently. So where you touch for focus on this phone, it focuses at meters, right? Sets exposure. And you slide that finger up and down, and what does it do?
Well, it should increase or decrease the exposure.
Well, you'd think that, and that's how I've always done it. But then you've got that exposure meter. You know what I'm talking about? The exposure.
Yep. Yeah, I use that rather than the sliding the finger.
I never use it. But when I do that with this phone, and you zoom all the way to 25% with the digital zoom, it takes a reasonably good photo of the moon every time. So the exposure slider, doesn't do it. Like, and I've said to you guys, I reckon I said to you at some point that when I'm taking photos of the moon, like, and I've even sent you guys photo in that group, that it's actually okay. It's not great, but it's better than what I was able to reproduce in that video. But I can do that with the slider, like reduce the exposure, and sometimes it works, and then other times it doesn't work. And it was just, to me, it was just a useless feature. But then someone in the comments, like I say, they wrote, use this, go this, and it'll work. And I did, and it does. So we'll be doing another video about that come the next moon phase, and hopefully we can get something better. It's certainly not as good as like the Huawei ping pong ball experience or the Samsung S23 Ultra Moon AI experience. It's not as good as those, the end result, but it's better than any iPhone so far.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
From South Arkansas. Morning, Patrika. Scott Baker, you're welcome. What? I don't know what he's... I don't know. So you've had it for a little bit. What would you say the best surprising feature of it is so far?
Let's see. I'm still coughing, so hold on. Well, I mean, the best surprising feature is obviously the 5X. It's really nice to have. Like right now, this time of year when I get off work, the sun is just about to come up, and so after work every morning this week, I've been kind of driving around, taking a long way home to see if I could get any sunrise pictures, and I got a few. Well, there was one morning it was really foggy and misty out in these fields, and I was able to get, hone in on a part of the scene that had some fog and mist in it, and the sun was coming up behind these clouds on the horizon. And with that 5X, it just really, made for a lot nicer composition, isolating that part of the whole thing. I took, a one times or whatever, and it just didn't have the same effect. Being able to, dial into a certain part of the landscape, it really makes a difference in the photo. And and Mike, you can attest to that with composition and all that stuff, right? It makes a better composition when you isolate a small part of the landscape. Yeah, that's the one.
I was going to say, I hope that's the one you're talking about.
That's the one.
Yep. Cool.
And if you had seen the whole, like if you saw the 1X version of that, it just doesn't have the same impact. So I've always the telephoto camera has always been my favorite camera on the iPhone ever since they started putting them in, and they got better and better, and the zoom range got a little better each time too, type of thing. So last year with the 14 Pro Max, it had a 77 millimeter equivalent, and I used it more than anything. And now this year it's it's basically like a 120 millimeter equivalent, and I really do like it. It's really good.
How's my delay now?
That's
a little better.
Seems all right. What did you do?
Oh, good.
Did you connect some wires?
Turn them around that way. I was just going to add.
What did you do
to that? The telephoto lens is fantastic for composition because it's a technique called back compression that actually brings the background forward and larger.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
He unplugged those wires again.
Yep. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, it's not fixed there, Mike. You're still delaying to.
No.
Yeah. So somewhere in your house is streaming movies again. So Patrick is stirring the shit. Finally picked up 15.
I'm happy to drop out, guys.
Your 15 Milky Way video. You sent the image to your admin and stated that something was different. Stacking AI. What's your thoughts? I think it's just the what do they call it, the photonic engine or some bloody thing it's called. I think it's just different. I think it's just a more powerful processor. I think that's all it is. It looks like the stars are lining up better than what they have before. When I've taken photos with the 14 and the 15, the 14 has clear star trails. I think I showed it on that video reasonably well. And the 15 just doesn't, except right on the edges of the frame does it show the stars having a bit of a tail.
And that's probably just optics, right?
100%. Yeah. I think it's well, the video I did with the Samsung and the iPhone, a few people have said, oh, you should have just used the Pro mode. And I'm like, well, you know what? This has an Astro mode, so it should use the Astro mode. I think differently about Astro stuff, especially with phones. I think Astro with DSLRs and mirrorless is, honestly, it's probably one of the easiest genres of photography to do once you know what you're doing. Once you understand the basic concepts of Astro, it is dead set easy. The biggest challenge, there's two. One is finding a subject to shoot, and two is getting up early in the morning or late at night to go and take a photo. That's the really two challenges. The gear does matter though with that photography. It's with any other sort of photography, be it portraiture photography, landscape photography, it doesn't matter. Gear doesn't matter as much as it does with Astro. Astro, if you don't have good gear that's going to capture that light that's in the sky, you're just not going to be able to do it. It's as simple as that. Not going to be able to do it well. And when it comes to mobile phone photography with Astro, I think the more simple you can make it, the better it kind of meets those two genres of mobile phone photography and Astro photography. And when the Samsung has that expert RAW and does the 4, 7 or 10 minute long photos, for me, it should just bloody work. And somebody said they've nerfed it like a game, like a computer game, and they really have. Like now it's not nearly as good as what it was. And the Pixel is just a one-shot fire and forget sort of like photo. It's dead easy to do. So I think But if you were going on ease, it'd have to be probably the iPhone, the Pixel, and then down the road somewhere is the Samsung. The results somewhere around that sort of order as well, I reckon. But I don't think it is stacking it, because there are still the metadata shows that they're only 10 seconds still. But it's definitely better. It's definitely better. Yeah. Have you done any Astro yet, Greg? Not yet, eh?
Not yet, no. But I mean, I see the difference in yours. When you shot even the 13 Pro Max to the 15. Well, there was a difference going from the 13 to the 14, and then to the 14 to the 15. There's an even a difference again. It just seems to see capture more stars with every iteration so far, right?
Yep.
So
it's something that I think every iPhone since I've started this channel, I think I've gone, oh God, do I get one? That launch was bullshit. I'm not remotely inspired at all to buy one. And only because of the channel have I gone out and bought the phone every year so I could do reviews on it on for the Astro. And every year I've gone, what the hell is wrong with you people?
I can't justify the upgrade.
Yeah. Yep. But every year I get this and go and take a photo and I'm blown away by what it does. I'm like, why on earth are you not promoting this? Like the photos that I'm taking with that 15 Pro Max, the Astro photos, they're bloody awesome. And you go, if you weren't so wrapped around the axles about getting some fucking Mother Nature thing in here to tell us how virtuous you are, you could have spent 2 or 3 minutes explaining to people how bloody good this thing is in low light, because it just is. It just is. Anywho.
Maybe they'll discover your channel and maybe they'll have you as part of the presentation sometime.
Probably never.
They'll fly you all the way to Cupertino.
I think they're going to look at something like these live streams and go, no, this guy speaks his mind too much. We don't want him here. Oh, dear. So I've got the Pixel. The iPhone, I'll just turn this light on so you can see the colors a bit better. The iPhone is a black iPhone in a green case. My S23 is a black phone in a blue case, and the Pixel is a blue phone in a grey case. It's that pretty color blue. I actually don't mind it. And I can't remember whose video I watched in the last couple of days about this phone, and they've gone, yeah, it's such a cool color, but you put it in a case anyway. And can you tell it's a blue phone? No, you can't.
Yes.
What I was impressed with though is how it just brought the photo and everything across when I did the new phone sort of thing. That's quite cool. I think going to they make it so easy now to go from iPhone to Android and Android to iPhone that they do it so well now. It's just to plug a cable in and push the buttons and you're done. That Bay Blue. I thought you were going to say something about the Blue Jays, that soccer team, but no, Blue Bay.
Actually, we're calling them the Blow Jays now because they were into the postseason and they lost both games. They're out. They're done. So
oh, that's it. Not wearing that hat again. So I got the Pixel. I pre-ordered the Pixel. Tell you what, on a side note, how bad are these companies doing in rolling these phones out? Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not really in the middle of nowhere. It's remote, but it's not like
it's just on the edge of nowhere.
Australia. It's on the edge of nowhere. Like Mike knows where I am. It's a long way out, right? But it's not like Mad Max territory, but it's.
But if people would watch the Windella Farms channel, they would see where you live.
They would. If you want to know
Shameless
more
plug.
about it, go and watch that shit. But the three channels are very different. Like this one here, besides the live streams, because this is all very unedited and Probably get me in
Unscripted.
trouble one day. Unscripted, definitely unscripted.
Unprofessional.
But the video,
Yeah, Mike says unprofessional.
I have never ever claimed to be professional. It's so the videos though are there for a purpose. They're done in a certain way. They've always been done in that certain way. And when I sway away from that certain way, they tend not to do very well. So they're always just like, this is the phone, this is the subject, this is how to do it. There's the results. That's how I've always and that works for this channel. And then I go in. The four-wheel driving channel is almost a reviewing channel of like installation and reviewing gear. And the Windella Farm channel, I've started doing daily vlogs on that. I think today's number 13, I think. And it's a lot of fun, but it's done purely from a greed point of view. I'm only doing it, the daily vlogging, for my skill set, to go out and walk around the day and go, there's a story in that. I'm going to make a video about that.
But it's interesting.
Well, it is. I'm glad you think so. I look at it and go, I just don't want to watch it. But
No, I gotta admit, I'm a couple days behind. But now that the cat's away and the mouse is playing, I gotta see what these are going to be like.
It's now that we're
Probably
both
drinking
home,
and fighting and carrying it on.
No. I say to Sarah occasionally, I'm like, you've got to be in some of these things, you know. So, oh, right, I'm fine. She comes along. We see that one already. Brian Wilson, the Beach Boy. Good afternoon. I don't know if you answered the question yet. I have a Google 6 Pro. It is the astrophotography aspect. I'm not sure about the 6 Pro. I've got a 6, and I'm going to say it's better than the 6. And when I went from the 4 to the 6, I didn't think it was that big of a difference. But I think that this one is picking up the foreground subjects better than the previous models. That would be the difference. I think the stars are pretty close to being the same. There might be more. I'm not about to go and shoot a video on a phone that's that much older to this one. It doesn't make sense to me in the way that the channel works. But I think the stars are maybe a little bit or very close to being the same, but the foreground is absolutely better in this phone. Beach Boy again, question, manual control. No, I can't because I haven't used it yet, but stay tuned because I will. It's something that I was a bit excited about, and some people have been suggesting to me that I can shoot Astro at 50 megapixel with manual controls. We'll see. In my head, that's not going to be a very good photo because there's no binning happening. The pixels are smaller, therefore letting in less light. Anyway.
Yeah, it might not be as good.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. But how bad, to my original point, how bad is the rollout of these bloody phones? Like, you've only just got yours now, Greg. Like,
well, I didn't pre-order. I didn't pre-order right on when it opened up though either. I was like a week after the pre-order when I actually put my order in.
Yeah, but this is still like the biggest selling phone in the world. Like, just because you didn't pre-order, it doesn't mean you should have to wait forever today either. I don't.
Well, if there was an Apple store near me, I would have went to an Apple store and bought it. But the nearest one is like an hour, almost 2 hours away.
Yeah, okay. And there was someone who commented on a video. They're on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, and they're not getting theirs until like November or something.
Wow,
it was just ridiculous. I couldn't believe that. Good afternoon. Just woke up. We all just did. Well, I just did, and Mike hasn't been to sleep, I don't think.
I pretty much did too.
Oh, you did too. Just woke up. Have 7 Pro. Well, that's true too. That's a really good point. I do like that it does that. When you shoot an astro photo, it gives you a 1 to 2 second little time lapse of the stars moving, and that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Especially for these days, because no one really has an attention span that's longer than a few seconds. So I got the Pixel, and I'll show you guys. So in the title of this video, it said that we get ripped off or shafted or something here in Australia, and we do. But I'll point out the unicorn fart first. This is the box that it came in. Like it's just a regular box until you open it. Yeah. What?
Party time.
Just the whole thing, the unicorn part. That's just too funny.
But you open it's one of these things that you open up every bit of like tech stuff that I have here in this room. It's black or it's white. That's it. There's nothing in between. There's no other colors of boxes and stuff that this thing's come in. This is kind of nice. It's a unicorn fart, like I say, but it's. Tell me that's not cool. Like that's all the colors of the Google. I like it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's good marketing. Yeah, branding and all that.
Yeah, the box is like a white box. See, but that's cool. And I would have just thought that was the courier box because it looks like a courier box.
Yeah, sure.
Until you open it up. They give you this bag. I'm not going to parade around the other one like I did offline.
Oh, come on.
That's why I'm still here, Shane. I'm waiting for it.
So this bag is just a linen bag with Google written on it and drawstrings, but I really don't know what that's for. It's like a laundry bag, but for a sock.
Yeah. Just one.
And just one sock. You might struggle to fit two in there. If they were like those little ankle socks, you could probably fit two in there. And because I pre-ordered, I got a dinosaur on a push bike. Hold on. That's probably too bright. Bear with me a second. Look at that. A dinosaur on a push bike. Like, who doesn't want a dinosaur on a push bike? That's like next level. And I'm glad I spent the money just to get that in.
You're gonna have to feature that in the four-wheel drive videos.
I'm gonna put it there on the back of the drawers, like my Google dinosaur.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain this. It came as well, and it said it was a limited edition.
Now look at Scott's comment, latest comment.
Yeah, he's onto it.
Wait, and I'm not quite sure what this is. Like it's.
You got to do it now. You got to do it now.
I'm not doing it.
Oh come on, do it.
It's not happening.
Okay, if you don't do it, I'm gonna make it rain right here, right now.
I have the power, Greg. I can see him laughing down there. So he made it all right. He does these stupid bloody Apple little. What do you call them? What do you call them?
They're called reactions.
Reactions.
Yeah.
You do those, and my reaction will be that. So there's this bag. It feels like it's leather. I think enough leather went into these bags that just kind of negates the whole Apple thing. So like all is equal in the world still.
That's probably a slap in the face to Apple. Then they probably did that on purpose.
Oh, but wait, there's more. I'll get to that because I like full on slapped Apple with something. I'll show you in a minute. But it's when there's a release for it's now. I think I'm pretty sure you can just buy it now. I think
so.
I'm not a big YouTuber who gets all this shit sent to me. I pay for all this. I get nothing extra than what you guys get.
If you got one, it's open.
Yeah, but you can fit your phone in there, sort of. Yeah. So I just don't get it.
Is there like slots on the back for cards, like credit cards?
There's two parts. There's this one here where the phone goes in, and there's this little one here where the card could go in.
Oh, okay.
And on the back it's plain. So look, I reckon that is it's stupid. But
that's gonna be a dog. That's gonna be a dog toy tonight.
No, I'll probably just send it to someone that I hate. But now, when you watch all of the big tech YouTubers and they talk about, hey, when you buy the Pixel 8 Pro, you get the Apple Watch. Oh, sorry, the Pixel Watch 2, Pixel Watch 2, I think it's called, which is in Australia, that's worth $526 or $546, one of the two. But in Australia, you don't get that. In Australia, you get a voucher for $400, 400 Australian dollars. So in Australia, we get ripped off to the tune of 126 or 146, one of the two. So I've now got this voucher for $400 sitting there from Google, and I kind of want the watch to go with the phone. So I've spent another say it's $150 to get the damn thing here, which is on its way still. So if I bought this phone in America, what would have arrived is a phone and a watch, and I wouldn't have had to do anything. What happens here in Australia is you get the phone. The phone comes. Once the phone is shipped, within 24 hours of the phone being shipped, you get given $400 credit. That's it. You can do whatever you want with that credit. But if you want the same deal as what happens in America, it's going to cost you more money here. If you bought just the Pixel 8, not the Pro, you get $250 credit. But when the phone turned up, so the phone was shipped, I got a $400 voucher. I spent another pretty sure it was $146 to get the watch. Once the watch was shipped, it's not here yet. Then I got another $100 voucher. Like, and when the phone
well, you know what you can do with that? You know what you can do with that? You can use it in the Google Play Store to buy photography apps. Oh wait, never mind.
So then the phone arrived, and this was in it. It's a $25 discount code, which I couldn't use with the voucher. So it kind of annoyed me, and I was a little bit annoyed at the world at the time. So I went, what am I going to spend this $100 voucher on? So it's on its way as well. This other thing that I've just bought, and it's a proper leather case from Google. So Apple's not doing any leather. So I went, okay, I'm going to get a leather case for this. There mustn't be enough cows sacrificing their hide to the cause of photography. I've just evened the score a little bit. So yeah, in Australia, we get screwed on that. Unimpressed. Okay, enough about the stupid bag. No, I want to carry on about the stupid bag a lot more. Let's go back to the camera, what it can do, especially in low light. Have you not watched the video, dude? It does incredibly well. But it's been cloudy. I only had one night without cloud so far. Have any of you tried mounting your phones on a telescope? Terry, have you watched my videos before? Yes, of course. There's a mount that is called a Celestron Nex, as in NEXYZ, and that is the best mount that you're going to have to put on a telescope. Every phone will do it. It has all three axes. That's why it's called the NEXYZ. It'll do it fine. It does it really well. Savage. Stop complaining. You have enough nice in Australia. I've heard everyone wants to move there. You have? I don't know. Some of the photos I see this bloke taking, I go, he's in a pretty cool spot, eh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's enough of my rant about the Pixel. I'll take more photos with the Pixel. I'll do more video content with the Pixel, obviously. So far, if you haven't watched the video, I'm genuinely really impressed with what it can do. When it can do astrophotography on the ultra-wide camera, that's just ridiculous. Like the amount of dynamic range that was in that photo with the house, the lights from the house, the lights from the shed, the lights that are in the trees, then the astro aspect of it as well. It's definitely the best phone at the moment, I reckon, on the market for this doing that sort of stuff. Anywho, he's mixed up in Australia. Exactly. New Zealand is awesome. Enough about the vouchers. I want to talk about the vouchers more, damn it. But the foreground is too bright. What are you talking about?
But yeah.
He doesn't want to be coked into getting a Pixel because he's just gone to the iPhone. No joy, the buttons. Oh, I don't know then. I don't know. Don't know. Sorry, I can't help. I've tested a few, and honestly, none of them have been very good except for that one. That one holds the phone the best. Maybe there's something you can do with the buttons in the settings on the phone to turn that off. Maybe to like disable the buttons or get the buttons to do something else, not camera related. That would be what I would be thinking to try. Do you want to talk about that other thing, Greg?
Yeah, why not?
Best tripod. There isn't a best for phone photography. I don't think there's a best tripod. I think phone photography tripods are built to handle a certain amount of weight, and that weight is almost always a video camera or a DSLR with a big lens or something like that. And the tripods are going to be rated in weight, as in this tripod will take 3 kilos or 5 kilos or 1 kilo, that sort of thing. Is Mike on or is he frozen? Mike's gone by the look of that.
Ooh.
He is having lots of internet troubles.
Yeah.
But I would say to you, get any tripod really, just not a desk tripod. The desk ones are not good for getting out and about, but everything else generally.
And don't get one of them flimsy, really, really, really lightweight ones because they're just not going to, if you're going to do any kind of long exposure, they're going to wobble a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. It's up to you, mate. If you upgrade or not, there's things in that phone. I'm only going to be commenting on stuff that I've done with that phone. There's no point talking too much about what I read and what I watch. There's a lot of AI in the. I think Marcus Brownlee. I think it was him. I'm almost certain it was him. Did a video on.
Mm-hmm.
I think the title of the video was called "We'll Fix It in Post" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that really describes the phone. You're back. So we'll see. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Because my thoughts on manual camera apps and manual. I was talking about that one. Camera apps and manual modes on phone cameras. What are your thoughts?
Mike, go ahead.
I don't use it at all. When I first got into mobile photography, I was super excited that you could actually have manual control of the phone because I always dismissed it because it was a fully automatic phone. But then when I started playing around with all the apps and getting out there teaching people, saying, this is really cool, amazing, look what you can do, it took me a while to realize that for me, photography is not about that stuff. It's more about the what you're actually capturing, the story you're telling, the narrative. That's so much more important. That said, with long exposure effects, I do every time go in and use those apps where you can adjust the ISO, shutter speed. That's the only time nowadays. I don't bother.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Well, that's an interesting point from Scott. I think you said that to me before. Pro phone should have pro controls. What do you reckon, Greg?
I agree with that. I think if a phone is called a pro phone, it should have pro controls, and I don't think they have to be always in your face, like in the native camera app. If you want them always in your face, use an app like Reflex or something like that, where they're right there. But if you want, like in the Apple camera app, I think they should be, you should be able to turn them on and off in the settings. If you want to use them, have them there. If you don't want to use them, then they're not in the way. They're not they're not intimidating to some people, or they're not just annoyingly in your face all the time. I think they could bloody well do that. They just don't. I don't know why they don't want to or they won't. But now that Google's done it with the Pixel 8 Pro, maybe Apple will do it next year with their Pro phones. But yeah, you're probably right. They probably won't. But
The year after.
yeah, Patrick would say 5 years down the road.
I don't think Apple will ever put Pro control or manual controls on the iPhone.
Well, they do have the exposure, the EV slider though. They've put that in. So they're dipping their toe in the water with that.
I reckon that's as far as it will be. I don't think you're going to go any further than that.
Well,
because it should be simple. I think that's the whole point of a phone camera. It's in your pocket. It's convenient. It's simple.
Yeah, but when you're putting the Pro label on a phone, it should be a little more Pro-like, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Pro naming on phones is more like Pro and Ultra and things like that. Is just marketing around the whole phone. I don't think it's necessarily the camera. It's Pro. Like the camera might be a bit better than the non-Pro versions or the non-Ultra version, but I don't think they market it like this is for professional sort of photography or a better type of photography. I think when they put the Pro thing on, it's about the whole phone, not just what we deal with. Yeah. Pro means you pay more.
Yeah, that's about it, eh?
Look at Patricia laying down the secrets. Secret Pro mode delivers 100% optical zoom. Yeah, that's a valid point. So I think I'm very much like Mike in this case. I don't think I've ever made this a secret. I shoot Pro, as in a Pro mode or a manual mode, only when the native camera app won't do what I want it to do. That's being a long exposure, that's being star trails, astro in different phones, and that's it. I don't use it any other time. And it's kind of like, it's how I am with pretty much everything in most aspects of my life. When I go, some propeller head somewhere who is a damn sight smarter than the three of us put together, built this phone, built the software to go into this phone, and made it all work. Why do I think I know better than him or her? To me, I just go, have at it. You built it, I'll use it. That's just me. But anyway, look, I'll certainly have a play with the Pro mode, manual mode in that camera. I want to hear about Shane getting screwed.
When you bought the Pixel.
Oh, you came in late. We've already talked about me being screwed, and I'm sore from it. I meant for astrophotography using the manual settings. Yeah, look, I haven't done it. So what he's talking about here is with the Pro mode, you can, in theory, you should be able to shoot 50 megapixel Pro settings, like set it all up yourself, shoot 50 megapixels, and get a good astro photo. My gut feeling is this is not going to work because of the way the pixel bitting works. So the sensor is only this big, and when you bin it, this big, and each pixel size is, say, this big. But when you bin it, each pixel size is this big, letting in more light to the sensor. So when you're still shooting it and it's this big, to me, it doesn't make sense that it's going to work better because less light will be able to come into that sensor. I might be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. It certainly won't be the last. But my gut feeling is that it wouldn't work. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you need that binning to actually do anything, especially with Astro. Like you said before, the pixels are so small when they're unbinned, they're just not going to gather enough light to make any difference.
Yep. If you can alter the f-stop in portrait mode, why not extend it to normal camera mode?
Because then they wouldn't have a portrait mode.
Well, you can do it with the 15. You can take a photo now and change it to a portrait mode and adjust the f-stop later. You can do that.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is be able to do it in. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Mark that down in the diary.
As long as the settings turned on. As long as it's turned on in the settings.
Yeah. What do you think the next 5 years will bring to the table?
Ooh. Does it have to automatically...
Go on, Mike.
What's that, Mike?
I was just going to ask, does it have to automatically detect a person or a pet for it to do the automatic portrait mode in the background?
Yeah, I think so.
No. Because I took a picture of a church steeple with the 5X, and when I looked at it back in the photos again, it said portrait on it, and I could adjust the freaking blur in the background. So
fantastic.
They're saying that, but that's not always the case.
Was it like a cat church or something? It had a cat on the front?
No. I'll show you the picture. Hold on.
Yep. I need some like waiting music, like elevator. Oh, that one. Yes.
So I was able to go in and see it says portrait right there in the top right corner. I don't know if you can see it very well, but
that's because you're using a Mac for your,
all I could do is blur the clouds or whatever, but I mean, yeah, you can do it. So I don't know. Is there something in that picture that looks like a face?
I don't know. Have you seen that movie Coneheads?
What's that?
Have you seen that movie Coneheads?
Oh, Coneheads, yeah.
So what do you, this is a really good question, I think. What do you think the next 5 years will bring? Personally, I think it's going to be a bucket load more AI. Every phone on every camera on every phone has an element of AI, and as that develops, I think it will be more and more and more and more.
I think Google did it with the Pixel, like over the top, this time around. And
what do you mean?
Well, I mean, look at Marquez Brownlee's video about fix it in post. Like, there's so much stuff you could do that's AI, even generative fill that Photoshop's using, right? You can do all that kind of stuff with the freaking Pixel now. Like in post.
I would argue that what's happening with I haven't played with it much, only on videos that I've seen. I would argue that that's got nothing to do with the camera. That's got everything to do with the Photos app and editing. As far as the camera taking the photo goes, though, I don't think it's any different.
Okay, yeah, that's a valid point. That's a good point.
That's twice, Greg. Today's a great day. So I don't know. I think like the video I did about the moon, I wholeheartedly believe everything that I said there. Like, some people say no one wants to do this. You're going to do it once or twice and that's it. Well, there's literally billions of people taking photos of stuff out there. So if it's 1 or 2 billion photos of the moon, I would still say that's a significant thing that people want to do. And there wouldn't be anybody watching this that hasn't at some point tried to take a photo of the moon. So I think every manufacturer will do something in that space, in the telephoto space with AI. I think they will. But other than that, I think there will be some things that, like the Pixel does, things that the Huawei does, things that the iPhone does a little bit with the AI in motion blur, in capturing motion, live photos, that sort of thing. I think there'll be more of that. Like some of the stuff that the Pixel does with the panning is quite neat. And that's been on there for a little bit. They're just getting better at doing it, I guess. That's where I think it'll go. I think that the focusing on faces and stuff is pretty good as it is right now, and you can change that again in the edit afterwards. But I think it's just going to be more refined in those aspects. Yeah, that's my gut feeling.
Maybe in 5 years, I'm going to pull a Patricia here. Maybe in 5 years, Google's Pixel phone will be able to shoot HDR video and have it right away instead of sending it to the cloud for processing and then downloading later when you get it back.
I am going to do that.
Embarrassed. I would be embarrassed as a company to say that that's how we have to do it.
100%. When I first saw that, I thought, no, this is a joke. Not really, is it? No. Oh, no, it is fair dinkum. That's what it's doing.
That's real.
Yeah. So I am absolutely going to do that and see what it actually does. And yeah, maybe shoot it with. I think the iPhone has definitely got the best video camera. But I think that's just a given. The S23 it's okay. I think that the iPhone, the stability is better, the colors are better. I think it's just better all around for video.
And you know what? Everybody that's doing these reviews that are comparing, whether it's the Samsung or the Pixel to the iPhone, they're always saying that the iPhone is the better one for video.
I watched a video yesterday, and it was a very insightful video. It was a fairly good sized channel. I can't think of what the bloody channel name was, but he was basically having a shot at YouTube reviewers. And I watched it and I listened to it. I thought, this guy is spot on. I think I like to think that when I do a video with a phone, I'm only really concentrating really on that low light photography aspect of it. And I'm as honest as I can be. And he made a point of showing a couple of the really big YouTubers, people that I know everyone here watching this will watch them. And they go on about how this is such a significant improvement over the previous one. And I kind of go, is it? It's better, but it's not like monumentally, like groundbreaking better. Like the stuff that I think is better with this is not stuff that's wasn't even covered in the environmental launch that they did. It is better, but the way that they go on, you've gone from being a reviewer to a marketer, and it doesn't quite sit right with me. I kind of like you lose a bit of trust with those. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, that's enough of bitching and moaning about that.
Now time to bitch and moan about something else.
There's a little fly in here. It's been pissing me off. There's not really. I'm just going crazy. Well,
you're just trying to get these gestures to work.
Trust me, I'm not. So we should have discussed this before we actually before we started talking about this. Do you want to talk about this, Greg?
Sure.
I'll open up my screen share again, and I'll. Go for it. Or do you want me to lead it?
What's that?
Do you want me to lead this conversation, or do you want to?
Okay, you can lead it, and I'll definitely.
Right. So there is a company, and can you actually see it on the screen there? Probably not. So this company has sent me lenses in the past, and I've reviewed the lenses, and up until I'm speaking to you right now, they're the best lenses I've ever tested. They are the shit. I reckon. These are the shift cam lenses. You may remember I had a prototype set here, and I ended up sending them to Greg so he could use them as well and get experience with them. What were your thoughts on the lenses, Greg?
They are good. They are very good.
Yeah. And I look at it and I go, you can take some sensational photos with this. And then I didn't find it. Somebody has shared it with me about this is their website. and you look at this and you go, so you can probably see it a little bit in the live stream, because the live stream only goes at 720. So it's you may be able to see all the details I'm talking about here. You may not, but this is my immediate thoughts on looking at these two photos. Is that this one and this one are exactly the same photo. They're the same thing, just cropped. And how do I know this? It's because these people that are here, they're bloody walking. And in this photo, they're walking exactly the same, like the foot's in exactly the same spot they're in, they're just further away. Like, you've just cropped the freaking photo. But that's not where it ends. Like, I look at this and I go, that's kind of cool. And I see that it's with the iPhone 14 Pro. And I look at the stars and I go, yeah, no, it's not. That's not how the iPhone that's not how the iPhone would reproduce that photo. This isn't the photo that was originally presented to me saying that this is what these people are doing. But anyway, what I did, I copied this. I just did one of those ones and took a photo of the photo. Took a screenshot of the photo, I should say. Then I throw it into Google. Oh, that's bright on my face, isn't it? And did a Google image search and found these photos. Oh my, there's a lot. Where did this come from? It came from a Reddit post. Here's the photo. There you go. Down the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see there's a watermark there with the photographer's name on it. Go back to here, it's not there. They've taken that out. So that's the same photo, yeah? You look at the pacing of the people in it. It's exactly the same photo, right? Now, when did the iPhone 14 come out?
Basically a year ago.
Just let me do some quick math. We're up to the 15, that's one less, that's 1 year. This photo was taken 3 years ago. So this, come on. Like, this is a company they make good gear. Like, give the lenses to someone or go out yourself and take the bloody photos. But it doesn't end there. Let's look at the other ones, because I can tell you now. Zoom in. Oh, should we go that one? Let's go this one.
Yeah,
let's look for some photos here. What do you reckon? That doesn't actually say it's taken with this photo, with this camera, or with this lens. So maybe not that one. How about this one? So what I'll do right here for you right now, I'm going to go over her face like this, take that photo, and we'll go to Google search. Put that there. I'll just find this photo over here. It's not over there because I changed my monitors around and it's just too much. There it is right there. We'll put that on there. We're going to find this image search. Oh, look at all these things. Unsplash. Why is this image appearing on Unsplash, the photo sharing website? Like, it's very clearly not their photo. So you got to ask yourself, why is this company doing this? Have you guys encountered this before?
No. So go ahead, Mike.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen. So
okay,
no. I'm shocked.
A few years ago, Samsung, with one of their phones, showed these people in a video taking selfies like this. Well, somebody leaked a behind-the-scenes photo of how they were doing it, and there was a freaking DSLR on a tripod. That was actually that actually took the photo. Yeah. And Samsung got called out on it, I think, and I don't know what all became of it, but they got caught. They got busted. Yeah. And just like ShiftCam, they're getting busted here, and it's not a good look. Their lenses are good enough that they don't need to do this kind of crap.
Yeah.
To try to show the image quality and everything else. Their lenses are fantastic. They really are. Yeah. And I mean, somebody's got to say it.
Yeah, I'll be sending them something today and say, "Hey, go watch my live stream." It's dishonest and totally unnecessary
and unethical.
Absolutely. But the gear you make is good. It's like the same thing as what you're talking about there with the Samsung. The Samsung cameras are good. Why did you need to do that? Well, these lenses are good. Why did you need to do that? Like this photo here of this lady. This was when I went and found the original images. I think this is the one. It was taken on a Sony A7 series camera. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Why do it? It's you would be able to almost perfectly replicate this using what you've actually said was taking here. So why not just do that?
And I could tell you, I could tell you by looking at that one on the left, that is not taken with the iPhone 14 Pro at 1x. I've used this bloody thing enough that I know, even before I take a shot, I could tell, okay, I'm going to need the 2x for this shot. And, you know, I'm not one to brag or nothing like that. I've used it enough. I know I was right. I was looking at a scene or landscape, and I thought, okay, that's got to be 2x. Before I even pulled the phone out, and I pulled it out, I had to go to the Apple camera to do it. Went to 2x, bang! It was exactly how I envisioned it in my mind. And I can tell you, just with the bokeh and everything else in that picture, there's no bloody way that is with a 1x camera. I'm going all Australian on this shit.
You sound like such an Aussie now.
and with that other one on the right, it is not. It's just not a 60 millimeter telephoto from the Lens Ultra.
Yep.
I mean, it's arguable, but I don't think it is, because the
well, it's not. I've done the same image search, mate. It's done with the same camera as the one.
Oh, I know, but I mean, even if you didn't do the image search and you tried to convince yourself, okay, yeah, maybe that is, but no, the iPhone, even with that lens on it, would have a wider depth of field.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Anywho, it's I don't know. It just blows me away that you would do this. You've got a really good product. There's no need to do it. Like, go out and take your own bloody photos. You just know that somewhere in a meeting in Hong Kong where they're based, some marketing person's come in and gone, oh, we could put this one and this one there, it'll be fine on the website. This one will be fine on the website. And they probably just put it on the website, shown it to like management and gone, what do you reckon? They go, that looks good. Send it out. Yeah. Anyway. Don't go too Aussie, mate. You'll start dropping the C-bombs as well. We're live.
I don't know why I was drop that.
What was that, Mike?
Is it not all us that word?
Everyone I know uses that word because we live in hillbilly country without hills. Anyway, what's happening on the podcast, mate?
Gosh, you know what? It's so episode to episode with how we plan it. But actually, the next one. So when I asked Dave, what do we talk about on the last one we did? He said, well, "How about travel photography?" I said, "Well, neither one of us really travel much. I mean, I don't at all." And then, okay, so as it turns out, he's traveling right now. He's in California, so we're going to talk about his traveling experience and how he, did that with his iPhone and whatnot. So I mean, he's posted pictures from the plane and things like that, things that he hasn't done in years, if at all. I don't know if he's ever done it at all. So it's a whole new experience that we can actually discuss since he's done it. Right, he's going to be down there for a week.
He may not come back, mate. Someone from Pittsburgh in California, a flyover statement to California. They're not letting him out of there.
Well, I've seen the pictures that he's taken down there, and it's really nice. I wouldn't blame him if he didn't come back.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean, right now it's probably 28, 30 degrees or so down there, and sunshine and blue skies. And whereas in Pittsburgh, it's probably a lot like here, 4 or 5 degrees, dull gray days, and
it's a pretty
winter is
dull
upon
looking
us
day
up here.
outside today. Yeah. It's all very cloudy here. What's it doing down there, Mike?
I don't know.
Such a dodgy.
I just woke up and rolled straight into the studio.
Well, on the last
world has ended
episode,
outside.
on the last episode, we had some really great feedback about the show that Mike was on, the one before. This gal Karen O'Hara. She's in the Mike's club forum, and she gave us some feedback on that episode. We were talking about developing our style and things like that. And something that you brought up, Mike, was that you don't need to have a style, or you don't need to have a certain niche that you do with your photography. And that kind of eased her mind a little bit, because she put herself in that camp where she doesn't really have a style or whatever. Her style, and like Dave Podder said, his style is whatever's in front of him. That's what he shoots. And I think that's a pretty good way to look at it, especially if you don't want to be pressured into thinking you have to come up and develop a style. It's art. It's whatever you want to do. So that was really cool getting that feedback. I love it when we get people, like, they talk about the show, and it kind of gives me an idea of what people are interested in and whatever else. So
100%. Yes. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. We're gonna put some things in this little tote bag and carry on with my day.
How are you going
Thank
to carry
you,
your
everybody, for joining
Pixel?
us.
How are
Say
you
that
going to
again?
carry your Pixel?
In my pocket.
Okay.
It's very much an in joke, and no one's getting it. It's not going to happen. All right, guys. We'll see you all in 2 weeks' time. Be good.
Great.
See you later.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody.